Lizzo, head toss, check my nails.
Baby, how you feeling?
Lester Holt is checking his nails right now from isolation as he joins us via Zoom from NBC News. He has got a big special that is coming on tomorrow night. Lester, first of all, it's nice to see you on Zoom. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I mean, listen, every day any of us wakes up and feeling good. You got to celebrate it, and you can't really worry about tomorrow. You just got to take it a day at a time.
Well, listen, information is essential, and we appreciate over the years you being such a great source of that. I've seen you in the studio and around the world, and what you're able to do is just remarkable. So gratefulness for that.
Thank you.
Let's start with this special. You're taking this is going to be on many, many platforms at NBC, and you're taking us around the world as part of it to check in on the global crisis. Have you seen any relief yet anywhere?
Well, I mean, we're certainly, everyone's watching Spain and Italy very carefully because their numbers appear to be plateauing, but it's never going to be, we knew it wouldn't be an even drop. There would be some days worse than others, but, we're all becoming these pseudo experts on modeling and what happens in one place. But the weird thing about this is every place seems to be having a different experience. I mean, right now the U.S. seems to be, having perhaps the worst experience. And, it's hard to pinpoint why. I mean, you see people around you, doing their best to be good citizens and cover themselves up outside. But we've been doing these specials the last several weeks, and the idea is to kind of give people real-time information as to where we are in this thing, day by day. But also, we've got to start peeking around the corner now and figure out, how this ends, or how does this get to a place where we can begin to resume some of our normal lives. It's a conversation that may be a bit premature here in New York. We're waiting to see if they use the term apex or maybe a plateau. It takes several days of numbers to determine a trend.
Lester Holt with us. So starting to think, I like to think about what's going to happen after because it gives us hope, and we know that's coming, and we're all going to be so elated to be there. But what do you think the human behavioral changes will be as you look at how we're going to go back to our normal life? Do you think some things might stick? Do you think we are going to treat things differently? What have you seen? What do you think about?
I think, I'm watching how people quickly, they want to do something. And so when the government said, yes, go ahead and use the mask, people were quick to do that. But I think we're all trying to figure out, this is not going to be one day they're going to say, oh, it's done, it's over, resume your normal life. So it's going to be little baby steps. I mean, obviously, I think that shaking of hands is probably going to become a relic, something we'll talk about. When I was a kid, we used to shake hands. But I live in a neighborhood here in Manhattan that's normally bustling with restaurants and bars and that sort of thing. It's hard to imagine what that's going to be like going back, sitting at a bar with friends, or sitting in the on a high top somewhere, sharing a beer at a meal. But I think we are adaptable creatures. I think we'll figure it out. I think the hygiene thing is here to stay, and maybe one of the great things, we won't have so many colds and flu as well, because we're all understanding the risks around us even in normal times. But I think we're all trying to figure out what's working at home going to look like. Is this going to become the norm for a lot of folks? How will that sustain? We're learning every day.
It's so interesting to hear you talk about the handshake, because I remember as a kid, my father, one of the first things he taught me was a firm handshake and look them in the eye.
Yeah.
And I remember it was one of the earliest things I learned. And I look forward. I love to meet people. So I love to look them in the eye, and I love to shake hands. I like to hug. I mean, all this stuff we do as human beings to connect, it is going to be interesting coming off of this after the apex. When do we start doing that again?
Well, and because right now we are craving comfort, we're craving human beings. We want to give hugs, we want to give handshakes. I remember when, I guess it was very early March, maybe late February, as this thing started to materialize. And I remember my last handshake with someone. After that, I was coming home one night on the subway, and a guy comes up, recognized me, and he reaches his hand out, and I said, I can't, Corona. And he got this look like he was embarrassed. And you want to say, look, it's not me, it's you. But we had that awkward dance. Now it's not awkward.
Sure.
No one extends the hand anymore.
Lester, I must say, you are staying in great shape in this isolation. I don't know what your in-apartment workout routine is, but I'd like to partake in it. Are you doing things to physically stay active indoors?
Yeah, I mean, I'm working from home. We fortunately have the technology. We can They set up a studio in my apartment here. But I think you have to maintain some kind of a routine, and so get up the same time every day. Take my vitamins and eat a little something, and then I do about a 20-25 minute workout, which I did before all this, but it's become more important. I do a lot of body weight stuff, so I don't require a lot of heavy dumbbells and a lot of high intensity interval stuff. And it's a great way to start your day. And I think right now we all want something that's normal, something that's from our old routine. And for me, that's it.
Lester, we really appreciate the job that you do. Make sure you check it out. NBC News Special Report, Coronavirus Pandemic, tomorrow night, 10/9 Central, across all the NBC, MSNBC, NBC News platforms, also collaboration with Facebook. Take care of yourself, my friend.
Great talking to you. I'm glad you're well.
You too. Bye-bye. Lester Holt.